Good morning. Hello. How are you? Faye Bryant here with another daily devotion. Today we're going to be looking at Hebrews 11:1. We're going to talk about how your faith reveals your ownership. Before I get started, let me introduce myself. I am Faye Bryant. I'm an author, coach, and speaker who helps people just like you escape the lies of the enemy, live into God's truth, build a life worth living, and a legacy leaving. I have options and opportunities available for you, even an opportunity for us to talk and see where you're at, where you want to go, and how I can help you get there. Just a free 15-minute, no obligation. Just visit faybryant.com and you'll see a button there for scheduling a free consultation. I would love to meet with you. Okay, and that's at faybryant.com. Okay. Oh, I would love it if you would share this live stream with others, and if you would comment, let me know what you're thinking. Let me know where you're watching from. Let me know if you have a question. Even if you're watching in replay, which, by the way, if you're watching in replay, thank you so much. And leave comments. I'd love to hear from you. Even if whenever you're watching, I get notice of them and I can reply, and we can make this a two-way thing instead of a one-way babbling thing going on. Okay. Again, we're looking at Hebrews 11:1, talking about faith and ownership. All right. Let me set this up to share this picture. I usually have this prepared and I didn't, and I'm so sorry. But here we go. How's that? Can you see that? I hope so. Okay. And here's what this says. Now, faith is the assurance, the confirmation, the title deed of the things we hope for, being the proof of things we do not see and the conviction of their reality. Faith perceiving as real fact what is not revealed to the senses. Let's talk. If Hebrews 11:1 seems different to you in this picture, that's because this is the classic amplified version. This version translates from the original language using the full meanings of the words instead of just trading one English word for one Greek. Think about this. The writer was saying that our faith is our title deed for the things we hope for, those things we don't see but know we've been promised by the Almighty. A title deed is a legal document that declares the person named on it is the owner of that particular property. Let that sit for a minute. You have been given amazing promises by the creator of the universe. Your faith is your title deed to those things, proof of your ownership of every one of them. You can't see, touch, taste, hear, or smell them, but they are real and they are yours. Our faith is what transforms those unseen things into reality and gives us ownership of them. Our faith is a gift from God. It's not natural. We weren't born with it. We must utilize it, stretch it, and exercise it to build it into the faith that takes hold of promises we can't comprehend in order to believe them as truth, to hold them as real property. Sometimes we feel as though we have no faith, no hope, no chance. God says we do, and He's right. You may have to make a choice of your will to declare your faith in who God is and what He says He will do. But when you do, you take ownership of the promises of the Creator. Your faith may have been shaken. You thought God would do this or that or make something different happen, and He didn't. That's hard, I know. That's where faith steps in again. That's when we say, I do not understand what you're doing, God. I don't get why you had to do it that way. I don't understand why you just let that happen. He's okay with you saying those things, by the way. He's big enough to handle your questions. He won't slip from the throne because you ask them. Be sure you're asking from a place of needing help, not arrogance. Once you've talked with him about not understanding, put your faith back in place, accepting that God is who he says he is and he will do what he says he will do. Take ownership of the property he has promised you, even though you don't even see the continent upon which it exists. It's yours. Believe, trust, march forward in the understanding of who you are in Christ. Coffee, Bible, journal. Wow. Wow. Is that crazy to think about that? I've read this all, it's the evidence of things hoped for. I've read the other versions before, but when I read this today, it was just like, boom. Oh my goodness. When you hold a title deed, no one else can take that thing that you have the deed for. No one else owns it, just you. Now, I know that's a little difficult when you think that God gives the promises to everybody, and so everybody holds a deed to the same promises, but we humans tend to think in concrete terms and not the eternal and the big things, or at least this human does. Okay. But when we hold a title deed to something, it's ours. It is ours. Nobody gets to take it away. Burning the deed here won't matter because it's recorded in the courts of heaven. So they can take it and rip it up and shred it and burn it and scatter the ashes from here to yon, and it won't matter. The deed is still yours. That promise is still yours. Some of what we think of as the simple promises, God said he would never leave you, never forsake you. Never leave you, never forsake you. You hold the title deed to that promise. It is yours. You may not be able to see it. You may not be able to comprehend it. If you're like me, you may have experienced betrayal in the past. You may have had somebody leave you that you thought was always going to be there. And now you have God himself saying that he's not going to do that. But everything that you know from your past reveals something different. That's okay. In faith, you can believe that God said that, and that's something that you can live on. You can hold that title deed and know that that promise is yours from now until forever. He will not leave you. You may not feel his presence like right here, and you may not be able to see him. Your senses may not have him, but he's still right there. That when you look at that verse, let me look at that again. Right? And I can't read it. It's that last part, perceiving as real fact what is not revealed to the senses. That's pretty much every promise that we have from God. We can't see it or taste it. We can't touch it. We can't grab hold of it. Yet we hold a title deed to it because we have faith. We believe that God is who he says he is. We believe that he will do what he has said he will do. And we believe that we are his and that we are who he says we are. Faith. Faith. This gift of God. This gift that gives us salvation. And then we kind of seem to think that, well, okay, that's it. That's all we needed. Oh, but my friend, we need faith to walk every day. We need faith to get up in the mornings. We need faith to face up to issues and thoughts and everything of life. It's just like what I always tell you. Where is our focus? In faith, we are focused on God. And now, mind you, now, there are times that we can get that messed up and we put our faith in things that we do see or that we can hear. That's not a good thing. We have to make sure that we get our faith focused completely on God and keep it there. And given the opportunities to put our faith in other things, we have to determine whether we're supposed to or not. Now, I am not saying that we don't put our faith in a spouse or a child or a friend. This is the faith, the saving faith, the living faith. You can put a faith in your spouse or your friend or your children that is the understanding and the belief that they are going to be awesome, that they are going to be people of integrity, that they are going to grow in their faith in God. But this faith that I'm talking about is that faith in Him, that faith that keeps you breathing, right? That faith that keeps you walking, the faith that keeps you moving forward in good circumstances and bad, that faith that helps you walk on when you feel like you just can't take another step. Faith. You have the title deed to promises from the eternal, almighty God of the universe. They are yours. As a believer in Jesus, they are yours. Take hold of them. Take hold of them. Know that they are registered in heaven as yours. Live in those. And when the enemy tries to tell you that they're not yours, I feel like I need to make a resource and it looks like a property deed. And so you can hold that up and say, no, dude, I hold the title to this property. You don't get to take it away from me. I might just have to do that. Okay, listen, I thank you so much for joining me, for looking at the scriptures. Oh, and let me tell you something. This walking in faith, this using your faith as a daily, moment by moment thing, you can do this. Yes, you can. I believe in you. I believe in you. And if you can't believe in you in this moment, know that I will believe in you until you can. If you need to understand that better, message me, email me, Faye@faybryant.com. We will talk. I will believe in you until you can believe in you. But way better than me believing in you is that God does. And God is for you. And oh, believer, if God is for you, nothing and no one can ever be against you. Nothing. No one. Ever. Right. So let's start this living in faith, walking by faith, understanding what faith is. All right. Yes. Again, thank you for joining me, for looking at the scriptures, for figuring out how to apply it to our everyday walking around right here, right now lives. And if you're watching on YouTube, do me a favor. Would you hit the button to subscribe to my channel? And be sure you hit the bell to get notifications when these go live. And finally, go wherever God leads you. Do whatever He says. And be who God made you to be. Until next time, I'm Faye Bryant. Bye.